What's up, guys? Anyway, got a little rain last night, not a big deal. Actually, in the last 2 days we got about 2.5 inches and we needed it. My pastures are greening up with the bales, baby. I'll get to that in a minute. So, PVC. I didn't have to use this Schedule 40, but I wanted to. Because it's better. You know, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's also the lighter stuff that's, I don't know, let's get this ring of insulation in. Anyway, you know, I got all these trees around here and all these tree roots. So, came down, tied into the gutter. This deck is, that's a whole different project. That's why that's out a little bit, but whatever. Anyway, so, came over, teed up, teed out, 90'd up. Now these two that are sticking out of the ground, those are going to be drains. Because I'm putting in that big walkway going all the way to my shop. And it's going to act like a dam for any water flowing that way. And I want to make sure that I get this water, you know, away from my house. And it worked like a champ. So, anyway, and I'm not walking through all there with my boots. They're kind of clean right now. So, teed off right here. And then I teed into there because I 90'd that gutter. I'll get a little closer again. I'll just come around this way. So, yeah, grass came in good, guys. Look at that. So, I came down here, teed into that other one, and I've got pitch, I've got flow. So that's great. And then I just trenched right across my driveway and into the ditch out here. So, show you that. And, you know, I worked with the grade, not against it, you know, and it wasn't that bad. Oh, yeah, I killed a copperhead over here yesterday. It's probably still here. Yep, right there. That's a poisonous snake right there, buddy. Sorry, but I shot him in the head. Anyway, there it is. So that all comes out right there. And, yeah, so that's pretty groovy. I also trenched. Okay, I'll show you all my mechanicals besides that I trenched in. Now, as I said, I'm moving that propane tank. So what I did was, here's the old feed for that garage. It obviously isn't connected. I did find some BS Romex and buried in the ground, but that was not even live. But anyway, probably a switch leg. So I just used black gas pipe to sleeve it, where it breaks, you know, at the bottom of my ditch up to there, just to protect it. So now I'm going to run a 1/2-inch gas line from there to my mechanical room. There's going to be a high pressure regulator there, a low pressure regulator on the tank, or vice versa, whatever that guy said. Now that right there, that's 3/4, so it goes back of the box into the house, into that crawl space, and 90's down and comes all the way. Here is where that's gonna go. So it's 3/4. I'll probably put a 30 amp panel, 240 volt in this garage. That's more than I'll ever need. But so there's my propane line. I made it nice and long, and you know, that stuff bends. But anyway, and there's my feed to my garage. Boom. So propane tank will sit right here behind this garage. I won't have to look at it. And they can come right in here and fill the thing up. It's not in the middle of my yard on an island, you know. So that's where the propane tank's going to go. Now the only thing I'm going to have propane is stove. She wants a gas stove, which is cool. And then that furnace is also going to have a coil in it for this propane along with the outdoor burner. That way I can use that when I'm not here. The outdoor wood boiler, yeah, I don't have to worry about that freezing up and all that, so that's great. I've done a little more research. Thank you for your comments, guys. That was helpful. So, yeah, so the furnace, the stove. I'm not sure about the hot water tank yet. That outdoor furnace, outdoor boiler, is going to also have a coil on the hot water tank to heat my hot water also. So this is just supplemental. I probably, well, I may go gas, I may go electric on that. I'll research it, but I have the capabilities of doing either. And when I get to that, I'll figure it out. But also, over in this corner, I'm going to come off the side of that box, and that's going to run my condenser. My condenser for my air conditioner is going to sit right over here. So I'll come out, put a 30 amp disconnect, whip from that 30 amp disconnect right into my condenser, and that's where that's going to live. So over there we do, I think you saw in the last video, there's your 3 lines. I didn't want to 90 into the side of the, you know, into the wood, cardboard, I guess you could say, because I'm residing this whole house, and here's why. I mean, you can already see that stuff's warping, and it's just garbage. It's garbage, and it's gotta go. Look at all this crap. You can see every panel, but I'm gonna use hardy board on that. Okay, so that's what that is. I did not get the trench all the way to the shop yet. I just ran out of time, but that's no big deal because I have to trench for some other stuff. So the 3/4 is for my wood furnace, and then I have 2 1-inchers high and low voltage going into the shop. I'll trench that probably next week or something. Got the Dozer coming tomorrow, so there's some stuff I got to do in preparation for that. But yeah, so all I'm going to do with this stuff is I'm going to let it mellow, man. I'm going to let it settle. Like, just from that rain last night, look how much it settled right there. So I'm going to let this settle for about a month or something like that. You know, 3 weeks, a month, I don't know, depending on if we get some rain. But this is why I didn't plant grass here last time, because I knew I was going to be tearing it up. Front lawn came in pretty damn good, except there's an armadillo that I'm going to have to shoot that keeps on digging up my, well, yeah, he keeps digging up my grass. Yeah, look at this, little bastard. But, you know, if you guys don't like that I'm going to shoot an armadillo, then, I don't know, tough shit, because I'm going to cap his ass. You know, I tried to talk to him. I put a little sign out there, hey man, please don't eat my grass, and dig up holes, and if you dig one up, just put the dirt back and we're good. But you know, he just didn't pay me any mind, so now I'm gonna have to kill him. Okay, so I did tie into the cistern too. So this gutter, basically, you would figure that peak down all the way over, you know what I mean? So basically from there all the way to here, you know, and all that coming this way is tied into here. And there was already a piece of PVC going into this cistern, so rather than try to trench across all this and tie into that, I have a little bit of that going into my cistern, which is cool, man, you know. I'm glad I was able to incorporate that. And, yeah, it got a little higher. But anyway, what I'm going to do with this ugly-ass cistern is I'm just going to build like a little, I'll square it up first or something like that, because I don't like that it's not square, and I know that, like, that's splitting hairs, but I don't know. It'll bug me if it's not square. I'm OCD, guys. So, you know, I'll just square it up. As far as when I build this, I'm going to build like a little, you know, well thing above there with a little bucket thing, and it'll look cool, and it'll match the house, and that's what I'm going to do with that. Filled in this, finally. You guys knew the problem with that. This settled a little bit. I'm going to put another scoop on there once she dries up a little bit. Anyway, took off these steps. They're just leaned up against there to straighten out this underneath there. That was all jacked up. And I did the same thing over here. You know, that was all like crappy looking. So I took the steps off and just put in that piece nice and straight, so the bigger critters can't get in there. And then I'm gonna today actually I'm gonna finish with this turkey grid all the way around. So that's what's going on with that. Sold that shed for $800 on Facebook thing. That was pretty sweet. I already emptied out my rain gauge. So the hay. Okay, so when I went to USDA, we figured out I have 39 acres open. Well, almost 40, okay? I got 39 bales. These are a little taller than 5 and a little wider than 5, so they're basically 5x5s. So here's what happened with that. So the original guy that was supposed to do it, he was supposed to be here on a Friday, and he never came. Weather was perfect. I was pissed. So I called him, texted him once, no response. I'm like, well, whatever. So I was talking to my neighbor, Mike, the cop, and he lives down the road right there. And he hooked me up with these dairy farmers, you know, these young kids that were going to do it. And then their equipment broke down, and I was cool with it. They're like, yeah, we'll get you after the rain. Which never did come till, like, you know, a week later. Last 2 days we got some showers. It's kind of nice. It's greening up out here. But anyway, so the dairy guys were going to do it. So I go into town, into a different town, to get that green pipe for my wood boiler, which goes all the way into my house. That goes into my house, under the foundation, through a concrete wall, and up through the floor in that mechanical room. And Tracy helped me pull that in. A bunch of swear words, but we got it in. And we did it right, you know, right on the directions that said you got to swear a lot if you're going to get it in right. So, you know, I follow directions, guys, you know, whatever. But anyway, so anyway, I went into town to go get that stuff. This is like a week later, and I come home, and there's somebody mowing my hay. And I had no idea who it was. I didn't think it was the dairy farmers because they had new equipment. I wonder if I already did a video on this. Anyway, but here's the thing. Like, see that part? I told them stay out of there because I knew there was some big old, you know, oak stumps or whatever from all that brush. And then there was an area back there. But then I, you know, brush hogged it after they were done. And I found across the road. So across the road is about 20 acres, and this side's about 20 acres. Maybe a little bit more on this side. And they missed most of across the road. And they just didn't do it. So, whatever. You know, I brush hogged it off. But I got 39 bales, and out of that, say, 40 acres... I would say they baled probably, or they mowed 60% of it. So that's with no fertilizer, and these are 5x5 bales, so you figure, yeah, I don't know, we'll weigh one or whatever. But here's the deal. Here's another thing I didn't like. They mowed it one day. The kid was here till like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night when he finished up. They came the next day around 2 o'clock with a rake and a baler. And they friggin' baled it, man. And they baled it wet. The baler was following the rake, basically. And he had a moisture reader. It was 17, 18%. That's not the worst in the world, but here's the thing. They left their equipment here for like a whole day. And the whole next day, and picked it up that evening, and it was perfect. If they would have just raked it and came back and baled it, I'd have been a lot happier. But I guess when you're not in the driver's seat, you don't really have those options. That's something to think about. I don't know about buying equipment yet. Not right now, anyway. All right, so let me show you guys over here. Yeah, the Dozer's going to come in and just friggin' level my stuff off. So, shit, we're already at 14 minutes. And he's going to push this pond in, too. I'm going to have to get gutters on these barns. I don't want a sloppy mess on the sides of my barns. So, after he grades this out, I'm going to figure all that out. But, let me show you. And I'll probably edit this video out if I already showed you guys this. But I don't know if I did or not. So I'm just gonna do it. There's somebody coming. They're gonna see me videoing this. Hold on, we're gonna do it on the low, guys. That's George, my neighbor. Okay, so that's where the loading dock's gonna go. It rained a lot, but anyway, so, you know, dug that out, and that's going to be a concrete wall from there to there, down. And I'm also going to anchor it into the, you know, it's going to have anchors, concrete anchors going that way, too. So that's going to be that. See, yeah, someone that said, that barn probably gets wet all the time. It doesn't. I mean, you know, this is just from whatever, but look, it's dry. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's dry. So anyway, I got the turkey grate in here, and then I just, you know, I did a couple scoops, and I got other shit to do. But I will finish that off, and that'll be that, and that's where my hay's going. So that's kind of what's going on here. Whoa! Did you guys? There's a big old black snake one in there. I'm not going by there. Black snakes are cool though. They eat rats and shit. So hey, dude, you could live there. Anyway, so this is a bigger base right here. This is like 1 inch. That I'm just going to put in here temporarily. I'm not pouring that wall anytime soon. I mean, I got others. Look, more carpet in my driveway. I've got other projects to do, but I had that backhoe here. So, dude did it in like an hour or two. So, yeah, there's all the dirt from it. So anyway, I got to get ready for this dozer. So I'm going to take out all this crap, all the fencing all the way around it, save anything that's good, and, you know, let it rip, tater chip. Alright guys, that's kind of where we're going with this one. So comment, rate, and subscribe if you want to.